What's up, Jordan? Box muffler smokers. Hope someone handling these. Alright. There could be some molding in here too. Can you hear me okay though? Order information. First card, Raikou from Vivid Voltage, Amazing Rare. English cards suck. Shacian. Reverse Hollow Charizard, straight 9. There's the Black Star promos. 8.5 on the edges. Yeah, we are. Looks like that way. Why did I send this card? What the hell was I thinking? Why did I send this card? 7.5 on the surface. You gotta be kidding me. You're giving me a 7.5 when you guys can't even keep your slabs. 10. I'm gonna turn it this way so I don't have to. I can't peek. I'm gonna do Vital and a 9. I guess they like ground cards better. Close to a 9.5 though. A Bolton Shiny Star V. Japanese. From Shiny Star. And the Charmander from Team Up. 8.5 center. Yeah, must be. Next we have a Leopard V Max from Shiny Star, also a 9. I guess the question is, are we getting any gem mint today, huh? I mean, it's a little thick on the top. And it must have hit me on the back, cause look how thick that top boy is. You don't even put their swab numbers on the front when they do it like this. I know. There's another Leopard from Shiny Star, also a 9. Very close to a gem mint there. Alright, we're into my vintage already. So we got a 7.5 for Shadowless Teeny. We got 9 centering, 7.5 surface, 7 corners, 7.5 edges. Okay, so the back corner back there. heck? How did that come out? Alright, Ponyta Catalyst. Really got me on the surface and the center. Alright, corners. I mean, that isn't even as bad as the first one. I really thought I was gonna sell those Catalysts. There's a 7. Near mint. I mean, this centering is a 9, and this better, and it's worse than the modern one. Classic. There's a 7.5 Ponyta Catalyst. 7.5 grade across, except centering can have. Oh, never mind. Can have 2 subgrades lower. Chunky Boy is worse than the other one. Another 7.5. They have? Jeez. Man, that was what I was gonna sell and make some money on. Macap Catalyst. There's 8.5 centering. Seven and a half with a 9 centering. That's insane. You really sent. Last year was the peak, man. Another 7.5. Looks like they picked the grade and just gave him the subgrade. That's wild. There's a 7. Man, there's no way these were this bad. These would have been PSA 8s all day. Machoke Catalyst. There's a 7. Oh, got a 6 on the corner. And 7.5, 7.5, and a 9. A little fading right there. They're unbelievably strict. Quali. 7. Digrid and a 6.5. Digrid and a 7.5. There's 7 surface, 7.5 corner, 8 edges, 9 center. You just no consistency. It's a subgrade approach to make them more consistent, but they're not. So 9, 6.5, 6.5, 7.5. Man, unbelievable. And a 7 Charmander with the last one, a box 1. Alright, box 1 done. Well, I didn't send too many of my modern in this. I would have shocked. Here's box 2. Another 7 Charmander. Seven and a half. I want to know what they're grading on surface because none of these surfaces were bad. I literally checked every surface unless they're double grading, which would be BS. There's literally nothing wrong with these surfaces. I wouldn't have done them with a 6 surface. There's another 7 commander. 7.5 chameleon. Another 7.5. A 6.5 chameleon. Alright, now we're into the hollows. So we have Raikou and a 6 from base set unlimited. So 8.5 center, 5.5 surface, 6.5 corner, 6.5 edges. Yeah, the edges are. Oh yeah, this one. You can really tell the edge is bad on this one. I don't know if I can pick it up in the camera. There it is. So that's. But honestly, it feels like they're double grading some things. Yeah, there's a surface issue there. Mewtwo, 6. 5 on the surface. Man, they just ain't. Okay, I can see it now. Yeah, when the light goes, there's a little hollow there. I guess they like your card better, John. And Zapdos. And a 6. 5.5 on the corners. Yeah. Oh, here we go. A 7 for Zapdos. 9 centering, 6.5 surface, 7.5 corners, 7.5 edges. Yeah, the edges are really bad. I'm gonna feel like they damaged them because I don't think I sent them like with that writing on the top. Oh, Aerodactyl, 8.5. Let's go. Straight 8.5. How about that? Aerodactyl, 8.5 across the board. There we go. That's a good one. How about that? 8.5 on a vintage fossil Pokemon. 8.5 Aerodactyl. Snorlax first edition jungle. 5 on the edges. Oh yeah. That'll do it. There we go. Unlimited jungle 8. So 7.5 edges, 9 centering, 8 surface, 8.5 corners. Yeah, there's some lightning on that edge there. It's got how easily these kept. 7.5 Goteon jungle unlimited. Very nice. And then we have an 8 on the back. So this one is 8.5 centering, 8.5 surface, 8 corners, 7 edges. Yeah, let's see here. The top edge is a little white. A Vaporeon Jungle with an 8. So 8.5 centering, straight 8 the rest of them. Very nice. Doesn't get them better grades now. A 7.5. So this was 9 centering with 7.5 on the back. On the velocity. So you can see this is the same edge damage as the other one. Unbelievable. So much for that pedigree. We have a Lapras Fossil, 6.5. So 6.5 centering, 5.5 surface, 7.5, 7.5. Now you can see there's a little missing piece of the card there. And then the exit on the back. Then the chunky bar on the bottom for center. We followed that up with an 8.5. Straight 8.5 with a 9 egg. Wow. Let's see what 9 eggs look like. Hardly any white at all. Maybe a little bit on the bottom there. Could be in the defend egg. You can see a little bit of the hollow bleed. So that's why I got 8.5 surface. Yeah, seriously, Jordan. 5.5. Kudos. At least the blue looks nice with the blue card. Oh yeah, there's a crease in this one. That's why it's the 5.5. 4.5 on the surface, 6.5 corner. So interesting. That's the surface grade right there. Next we have a 7. So 6.5 surface, 7.5, 7.5. No crease in this one. Maybe a little bit on the corner. Oops. And then we have Skyther from Jungle with a 7. I think Skyther was the card that I spent the most time looking for when I was a kid. We have a Mr. Mime 7. 6.5 on the surface again. Yeah, there's that same like bleed. I don't know if it's a bleed or the top of the card just comes off over time. And then another 7, this one with the 6 on the corner. Take a look at the back there. Yeah, these corners are kind of brutal. Pure white. And then Congress down with a 6.5. So 8.5 down and 6.5 surface, 6.5 corner, 7.5 edges. Congress down, there's a chunky thick bottom border there. And then the corner kind of bent up. Kanji Unlimited, 5.5. I don't think I'm surprised about this one. Even on Kanji, she's got scratches across the egg. Right there. And maybe even a little indent. But yeah, you can tell how scratched that hollow is. And then the bottom edges. And then final card of box 2 is a Hitmonchan, 6.5. Alright, that's box 2. Box 3. Another 5.5 Hitmonchan. A 4.5 on the surface. Probably. You see how scratched that hollow part is. McCamp, first edition shadowless, 6.5. Four and a half. We got a 4 on the surface, 4.5 corner, 4.5 edges. So, yeah. I think this is the one where maybe a dog might have stepped on it and clawed it. See if you can see that. All those scratches there. And then the edges on the back are just shredded. Electro Jungle, 7.5. The big, all this white stuff killed me. So 6.5 on the surface, good everywhere else. 7.5 for the electrode. Haunter, first edition fossil. This one got a 6. 5 on the surface, 6 corners, 6.5 edges, 9 center. Haunter, fossil, first edition. And then we have followed that up with an unlimited 8.5. 9 centering, 9 surface, 8.5 corners, 8 edges. A very strong 8.5. So 8 edges. Must be some whiting on the back. Yep, right down there at the bottom. Man, that's a bummer. So close to a 9. Muck, fossil, 8.5. So the 9 centering, 8.5 surface, 8 corners, 8.5 edges. And yeah, the top corner here. See on the edges. Must be on the front. I don't really see what's wrong with these edges. Like I said, I think they double count the grades, like corners and edges, even though they should be one grade. The only thing that makes sense. Alright, then we have a 5.5 muck on the back with a 4.5 surface. Everything else was awesome, according to them. Yeah, there's like a huge, I don't know, probably like from being in the binder right there. You can see that little ridge. That's a bummer. And then we have a 5.5 magneton from Fossil. This was my favorite hollow background back in the day. See, 5.5 surface, 5.5 corners. Wonder if I had that binder thing again. No, they did that fingernail thing on the bottom where it's lifted. And then the edges on the back there is bad. Maybe I'll start reviewing my cards with the camera because I catch everything on here. Alright, we got a Victor Bell from Jungle, 7.5. 9 centering, 6.5 surface, 8 corners, 7.5 edges. So, see surface. The front looks okay. There's a little, and again, with that same damage on the bottom there. It was kind of lifted. Alakazam, 5. Boo. Yeah, got a lot of scratches on the hollow and even outside of it. Let's see if we can get right there. That long scratch. That's a bummer. Alakazam, base set unlimited. Another Alakazam, this one is from base set 2. Got a 5.5 on this surface this time. Let's see. I mean, the hollow looks pretty good for a vintage card, but there's like some sort of nail imprint here. And that back top corner has some reduced ink. So 6.5 Alakazam. Poliwrath base set 6.5. So 8.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7. Another 6.5 for Poliwrath. The printer was stuck here. And we have a Venomoth first edition Jungle with a 7.5. So 8.5 center and 7.5 across the board. The hollow is scratched up on this one. And that'll be the surface. And then that top edge, you can see kind of chipped. But overall not bad. Bioplume Jungle Unlimited 7. So got a 6.5 on the corner. Oh, there's the edge work right there. I wonder if the corner is not cut sharp enough for their standard. They'll look terrible. The edges could have been worse than the corner. Wigglytuff Jungle Unlimited 7. Yeah. Scratched hollow. Those things for scratch magnets. Ninetales 7.5. So 9, 10, 27.5 across the way. Some scratching on the hollow there. Whiting on the back, but not nearly as bad as the other one. Well, maybe the edge work here. I still think they double count. And then a Ninetales 6 with a 5.5 surface. So let's see. Yeah, I got a binder. I don't know what you call them. Imprint right here, maybe. Yeah. Oh, there it is, right there. That's the damage. Woof. Yeah, that's definitely a binder card right there. Clothable Jungle Hollow 8. 7.5 surface, 9 centering, 8 on corners and edges. So, can't, 7.5 surface with the scratches that hollow is crazy. Another clockable 8, but this time it's a 7.5 on the corner, 8 surface, and 8.5 edges. Clock A base set, 7.5 with the 7 corners. I don't really see 7 corners. Unless they're lifted or something. Nido King from base set unlimited 7. Nido Queen and a 7, 9 generating 7 surface, 7 corners, 7.5 edges. And then we follow that up with a 6.5 Nido Queen. 5.5 surface, 6.5 corners, 7.5 edges. So yeah, that front bottom edge is pretty chipped. Excuse me. Alright, Piggy out. Unlimited and a 7. 6 surface, 7 corners, 7.5 edges, 8.5 center. Then last card of box 3 is the Venusaur. I got a 4. 8.5 centering, 4 surface, 4 corners, 4 edges. So you can see the and this corner is bent and bleeding. The hollow scratch, there's the corner damage there. And then the back bottom match. Alright, 3 down, 1 to go. I wonder if we'll get into the yeah, I think we're getting into some of the special ones, but we're not there yet. Okay, yep. Alright, so we have the Pikachu Black Star promo from the movie. I never would have done this if it was a 4.5. There's no way. 4.5 surface, 4.5 corner, 4.5 edges. There's just no way. I mean, it's a binder card, so maybe, but we'll have to look at the back. Oh, there's the crease back there. Man. I would not have sent that back. Wow. But this is the from the first movie. I should have some Japanese cards in here too. Oh, there we go, much better. 7.5 Pikachu promo. So 7.5 surface, 7.5 corner, 7.5 edges. Yeah, the back bottom corner is a little rough. Next we have a Dragonite, also from the Mewtwo Strike Back. First movie and a 4.5. 4.5 surface, 5 corner, 4.5 edges. So the top corner up here is bent. And then the back edge is right there. We have the Electabuzz, which is the card number 2 from promo, Mewtwo Strikes Back promo. 7.5. 6.5 surface, 7.5 corners, 8 edges. Electabuzz. And then we have Mew, Black Star promo 8 and a 6.5. Cards look cleaner than a lot of the 8s. Not the back corner here. That's a bummer. There it is, an 8.5 Mew. That'll make up for it. 9 centering, 8 surface, 8.5 corners, 8.5 edging. Much better. So this was promo card number 8. I can't remember if I sent by Japanese Mew promo. Maybe I did, it could be this one. Nope. This is a Japanese 9-tail. 5.5 with a 4.5 on the surface. Yeah, there's a scratch there. And then the corners on the back are in rough shape. The Japanese weren't originally mine, so they're going to be in rougher shape than most of the English ones that were mine from start to finish. Okay, this one's going to be I think this one's going to be a 2. Let's see. Called it. Yeah. I can send this one because Aerodactyl is just one of my favorite, and the Japanese card was too cool not to send. So Aerodactyl 2. How about this one for Ralph Jordan? This is definitely a beat up card. Maybe I should have put this out front to temper their expectations. Here's a Mew from the Mystery of the Fossil, Japanese, and a 5.5. I'll still take it, Jordan. Yeah, this is a cool Mew from Fossil. It's got some deep scratches on that hollow. And then there's a bent corner. We can get a focus. I mean, you can still see it even without a focus. Ditto 7 from the Japanese. Interestingly enough, they were bad at centering back in the day. So this one got an 8.5 centering, 6 surface, 8.5 cornered, 8.5 edge. Let's see if the surface grade here. I don't see much. I mean, the corner is like, the top part of the corner is just slightly bent. And then this one's creased. So, unless I'm counting all the crease toward the surface grade. Next we have Erica's Bioplume from Gym Heroes Unlimited in a 6.5. The label just looks so much better with the upgrades. Doesn't have that big empty blank space there. Next we have Erica Dragonair in a 5. Chunky boy on the bottom there. And on this side, a 4 surface, yeah. We did not take care of these cards back in the day. Erica Trainer, 6.5. Hollow. Celtic surface. Let's see it on the back. Looks like maybe there's a bit of a creep, but I don't see much on this surface. Must be just all the hollow. Let's go. I mean, that hollow is pretty clean. Lieutenant Surge, Japanese, and a 7.5. 6.5 surface. Let's see. Is it the hollow again, or? I mean, the hollow's a little rough, but not that bad. It's the same stupid top edge damage. They keep damaging it. Unreal. I'll have to check and see if that damage is on any of these, because that's at least 4 cards with the same damage on the top and the bottom. Next, we have a Lieutenant Surgeon Magneton and a 7. 6 surface, 7 corners, 8 edges. Yeah, this back corner is pretty screwed up right there on the front. Back looks pretty clean otherwise. Home stretch, I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more cards. Alright, Blaine Charizard and a 6.5. 9 centering, 6.5 surface, 6.5 corners, 7.5 edges. A Japanese Blaine Charizard. This was one of my favorite cards I had back in the day. Blaine Charizard. 6.5. Another Japanese card. Brock Rhydon and a 7.5. 6.5 surface, 7.5 corners, 8 edges. Yeah, there's a bit of a top crease there. And a little bonder divot here. Erica Dragonair and a 5 with a 4 surface. Let's see. Tons of scratches. There's like a deep scratch on Dragonair tail there. So that'll do it. And then the back looks like it has some pin needles in it. You can see them right there. There 5 for Erica Dragonair. We had, let's see, a Dark Blastoise and a 3.5. So yeah, that's just, I mean, $13 a card. It would, whatever. Nice to have your old card swapped. I mean, this one's in worse shape than that 2 and a color 3.5. That's wild. That is just wild. We are down to the last 5. A Dark Machamp, first edition, 7.5. Dark Machamp. Hollow scratches. A little bit of a down corner there. So that'll be the corner grade. Four more. Dark Arbok, Unlimited, and an 8. 8.5 centering, 8 surface, 8.5 corner, 8 edges. So yeah, hollow surface. On the back, Got some white corner down here. But overall not bad. 8 for a dark box from 2000. 3 more. Dark Raichu. A secret rare. 7.5 and unlimited from Team Rocket. 8.5 center, 7.5 surface, 7.5 corner, 7 edges. Dark Raichu. Unlimited. See if the edges on the front. Here's a little bit down the side here. You got some bleed. But otherwise, it's really not that bad. 2. A dark Jolteon. Team Rocket first edition non-hollow. 7. So 8.5 center, 7.5 surface, 6.5 corners, 7 edges. Dark Jolteon non-hollow. Then finally we have a dark Flareon non-hollow. 6.5, so 8.5 center, 7 surface, 5.5 corner, 7.5 edges. So this corner got a little bit of a dent to it. But I mean, they're not like perfectly rounded, so I don't know if that's what they took off for. This one that I mentioned on the front from lighting. But that's brutal for 5.5. Wow. The Dark Flareon Team Rocket first edition. And that is all she wrote. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night. Talk to you later.